Welcome everybody to ESC Fan TV. It's Sunday night and that can mean only one thing. It's time for Norway. Hey Tom.
Hey Stu. Oh, I'm excited for this. Do you know what? I've even managed to, if you can see just behind there, I've even managed to dig out my t-shirt from Eurovision Oslo 2010, proudly displayed in the background, mainly because it doesn't fit basically anymore, but that's by the by. How exciting is it this evening?
I was going to say, it doesn't look like you just left some clothes on the on the radiator or some kind of clothes horse hanging behind you. You forgot to tidy them before the show.
Yeah, it's fine, but massively excited for tonight's show. We've got 8 panelists delivering their favourite entries for Norway. People have been voting in their droves all week, and if you haven't done so already, menti.com 39 29 18 8. Go there, vote for your favourite Norway entry, and we've also got some special video clips from one panellist who couldn't make it this evening as well, because that's how dedicated our panellists are to the cause. That's absolutely
right. Bit on the rules, 21 songs this evening. 21 clips of the very best that Norway Eurovision can offer. Our panellists are going to present their favourites, but you are going to decide who wins. If your favourite does not win tonight, it's your fault. Make sure you pick up your device, go onto a browser and type in the digits, and they'll be on the bottom of the screen so you cannot forget. Our panel tonight, we're going to give them a wave. Let's give them a wave, guys. Let's wave everyone who's watching this live this evening. Just so you know who you're going to be talking to tonight, we've got a load of Brits to speak to. We've got one Norwegian who's going to arrive shortly. And, of course, right at the very bottom, say hello to Michael, because he's all the way in sunny Australia, and he's got up incredibly early to present this to you. It's about sort of 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning there. Thank you, Michael. We're going to meet you very shortly. Yeah, so we're going to kick off the show, I think, Tom. Should we get into it?
Can we just say, just before we get into it, guys, I know there's so many of you that are watching us already this evening. Don't forget, go into the chat room on YouTube, on Facebook. We see all your comments. We're going to be displaying them and reading them out throughout tonight's show. And now, let's kick off with our first set of songs.
We've got 6 absolute bangers for you. Let's have a listen.
Don't you upset her, keep cool and you'll get her. 8 cats to play house in, my rules play the mountain. Oh, what a game, it's just a game. Hoppa, hoppa, muchacha, kibaba. Hoppa, hoppa, muchacha, kibaba. Hoppa, hoppa, muchacha, kibaba. My heart is yours, I'll never leave you. Though we are far apart, I'm by your side.
I was just getting into that. Wasn't that a great way to start tonight's show? How fabulous. Before we get into meeting the panelists, you guys in the chat room, I can see there's quite a few of you already. Make sure you keep your comments coming in and we'll put them on the screen. Tell us what you think of each song as we go. Firstly, I'm going to say a very good evening to Martin from Let Me Be The One podcast and whatever he does. Let Me Be The One blog and podcast and radio show and all sorts. Exactly. Have I got it right? Have I got it right this time? Who cares? Martin, great to see you this evening.
Good to see everybody. Enjoying being here for Norway, which is probably one of the best countries for Eurovision ever.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to see that tonight with these 21 picks. I Feed You My Love, Margaret Berger, which I had the absolute pleasure of meeting a couple of years ago. What an absolutely stunning, beautiful, wonderful person she is. Why did you pick this song?
Well, it's totally iconic, isn't it? I mean, not only is it the track itself, the electro pop with all those drums, which was the only Eurovision entry where a single drummer going mad at the back actually worked. You know, not mentioning any other names where an entries where it didn't work. And then just how she looked, Ice Queen more or less painted into that outfit, and it's an incredible track, and just happened to be in a year where there was other great songs, and it didn't win, but still got top 5. So yeah, one of my favourites, and a great way to start this show as well.
It really is. It really is. And your second pick of the evening was the quite iconic Wigwam. And if I take us back to 2004, the year before, they tried to represent their country and came very close. That was a great national final, by the way. You can still watch it on YouTube. It's available somewhere. But they went through the following year with In My Dreams. Why did you pick this one?
Well, I'd forgotten sort of about this, but I've been doing Eurovision from the start with Lisa Jane Lewis on Facebook and going from entry 1 all the way through. And so I got to 2005, and I remembered how great a song this was. And I'm 53, so I can remember glam rock as well when it was big in the 70s. So glam metal, great performance, superb singing. Okay, yeah, all the musicians aren't playing their instruments, but they're giving it some. And yeah, and they even had the orange scarf on there for the Orange Revolution from the year before. So yeah, great song, and yeah, superb tracks, and quite different to a lot of Norwegian stuff that I've picked there.
Talking about Norwegian stuff, let's bring in our only Norwegian for the evening. Very, very delighted to welcome all the way from Eurovision Norway. We have Morten on the show this evening. Hey, Morten.
Thank you. Hi, guys. Glad I could make it here just in time. Looking forward to it. Hei, alle sammen. Hyggelig at det så mange nordmenn som med her også. Så håper jeg kan representere dere på en best mulig måte, for å si det sånn. Og så det bare å legge inn kommentarer, så det bare å følge med. So yeah, it's great to be here.
And for those who don't speak Norwegian, what he actually said was make sure you like the show, comment and subscribe. Morten, what did you think about Wigwam? Because this is a favourite of yours.
Absolutely love Wigwam as well, because it's not a type of music that I listen to usually, but this song is just you like it whether or not you like this kind of music or not, because they have that kind of X factor that makes you like it somehow. Man, you can't put your finger to really what it is, and yeah, it's just a brilliant song, and it has everything, and I hope Wigwam returns sometime, if I'm going to be honest, because they are something special.
They really are. Didn't the lead singer try a few years back? Hasn't he joined a new band and tried to get a Euro? So I was a little story. I was sat in the bath last night on my YouTube, and as you do, and I put in Norwegian. I was preparing for tonight's show, and I put in Norwegian national finals, and this came up, and I recognised that guy from somewhere. And then it occurred to me that he was the former lead singer of Wigwam. Anyway, there you go. Yes, I obviously left the mobile device outside of the bath. If it had fallen in, that would have been very dangerous. We mentioned that a panellist wasn't able to attend tonight. Unfortunately, things had come up. Hello to Sean, I know you're listening. Thank you for sending in your video clips. He picked Habba Habba from 2011 and My Heart Is Yours from 2010. And we are going to let's tune in to his clip now and let Sean tell you why he picked those two songs.
Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry I can't make it tonight. So here's a little video to tell you about my 2 nominations for Best Norway Song. First we go to 2010 and Didrik Sally Tangen, I think I've got that right, and My Heart Is Yours. This is an epic power ballad, and it didn't actually do that well on the night. It came 20th, but it's such an amazing song. It reminds me of You Raise Me Up. It's got that obligatory key change sort of 2 minutes in. It's so powerful. It's got an amazing operatic voice, and it was a flawless performance on the night, and I think it should have done a whole lot better. I do love a good power ballad, but also Seventh Heaven did a banging club remix of this song as well, like they do with every song. So yeah, I love the song, I love the performance, and it did help that he is absolutely gorgeous, is Didrik. So it was quite a pleasant performance, not just to listen to, but to watch. My second song is just from a year later, Stella Mwangi and Habba Habba. Now this song fills the dance floors of the nightclubs when it comes on at all those Eurovision parties up and down the country, that I so fondly remember. It seems to be a long time ago since we've actually been able to go to one, but never mind. The song's a very, very uplifting song, and Habba Habba translates to bit by bit, and it tells the song of Stella speaking to her grandmother when she was little, and she was giving her some advice saying, bit by bit, many things are achieved, kind of slowly catch your monkey, if you get my drift. So yeah, brilliant song, great to dance to. Again, that didn't perform very, very well either. It failed to qualify semi-final. It didn't get through to the final, but it was one of the favourites in the competition right from the go. Bizarre, but it just never qualified, which was such a shame because I think it was an amazing song. So those are my two songs.
Thank you to Sean for sending his clip. I think two very good picks as well. Right, we're going down under now. Michael, all the way from sunny Australia. You've picked two from the more retro catalogue. We've got a winner, an absolute classic from 1985, and reigning winner of the best Eurovision duo from Friday night's ESC Fan TV live show, for those who tuned in for that, from Bobby Socks, and 1973's It's Just a Game. So that's why you picked those two. And by the way, thank you for joining us. It's been a little while since we've seen you, and it's great that you could join us this morning.
I am so glad to be joining you guys, and thank you so much for inviting me along. Hey, so I'm putting on my old man hat today and thrown away the 2000s and gone all the way back into some favourite times when I was a young fella. 1985, Bobby Socks, Let to Swing. What an amazingly classic song. It harks back the memories from even further back from the 50s and brings together some fantastic power suits which my mother used to wear in the 1980s. So and it puts together just happiness. It's 3 minutes of joy and just perfect sort of blend of 80s pop and a bit of 50s glam. I can still listen to that today and just puts a smile on my face. I'll get up and I will swing my arms around every time, and it's got to be a great song, hasn't it? So it's a classic. It'll always be one of my classic songs. It's me. I can remember. It's SBS in Australia had just started broadcasting a couple of years beforehand. I can remember that first time I remember back in 1985, sitting on the couch with my mum, watching away, listening to Bobby Socks, and getting excited into Eurovision as a young fella. If you want to talk about it, yes, that's that one there. And then harking back and going through the records, I came across, I must say, my Eurovision journey is still young as it is. I came across It's Just a Game by the Beatnik Singers. And goodness me, that song is beautiful. The harmonies in there are an amazing thing to listen to. The language sort of integration is fantastic. And it really is sort of the last song of the 1960s or so. So excited that even both my bulldogs want to come in and tell me how much that's going.
Thank you, Michael. Two absolutely fantastic picks. There are a couple of our panelists that also would have picked some of these had they had the choice. We're going to go to Joe, just bringing Joe in. Hello, lovely. How are you this evening?
Hello. You
Good to
okay,
see
my
you.
lovely?
I am. I'm there. So you're a big fan of My Heart Is Yours. I know you were a big fan of Diedrich, a bit like Sean as well. So I know you wanted to have a quick word on this one.
Yeah, I love him. Absolutely love him. I'd have really liked to have heard this song sang live with him, but yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting him last year at MGP with his brother, with Emil Diedrich, and what a lovely guy. So I'm just going to echo Sean's comments on that one, that he really, really is a super, super nice guy. And yeah, he started off quite nervous that night, didn't he, in 2010? But he certainly belted it out in the end. And he's got an amazing voice when you actually sit and listen to him live. And I hope to be able to do that again soon, one day. You never know.
Yeah, it's a great song. And Tom, you must be feeling a little bit smug having won last night's or Friday night's Eurovision duos for ESC Fan TV. Bobby Socks, could it be a second time running?
Oh, absolutely, Stu. I mean, let's face it, I felt like I wasn't going to pick the same song 2 nights on the trot, but I stand by my comments from Friday night. It still is my favourite Eurovision song of all time. Massively, massively infectious. really bouncy. There are some comments in the chat as well about the experience at the Hammersmith Apollo for the Eurovision at 60 party in 2015. And as Tim S says, you know, I saw Bobby Socks at the BBC Eurovision party back in 2015. They rocked the Hammersmith Apollo in London so easily 30 years on. Didn't they just? It was absolutely fantastic. Loved it.
I was
But
there
also,
too. They certainly did.
But also, can we give a special mention to Deirdre, My Heart Is Yours, the only Eurovision that they've kindly posted on a weekend where I don't have to go and teach children the Monday afterwards, and I was able to get out there. What a fantastic experience to be sat at the back of the Telnor Arena, surrounded by Norwegians, listening to Deirdre sing this song, because the amount of support and the crowd reaction where I was sitting was absolutely amazing, and therefore, you know, it's up there for me.
So is 6 fantastic songs to start tonight's show off. If any of those were your favourites, make sure you do vote for them. Go to menti.com, use the code 3929 18 and 8. The code is at the bottom of the screen. It's gonna flip around throughout the course of today. Make sure you vote for your favourites. It'll be your fault if it doesn't win. I think we should hear five more fantastic songs, Tom. Let's do it, shall we?
Absolutely.
And there's a silent storm inside me, looking for a home. I hope that someone's gonna find me. Are you calling me at
What a fantastic selection of songs there. We're going to go to Elliot first, because I don't think we've heard from Elliot yet this evening. Good evening, Elliot. How are you?
Hello, I am very, very well. First time I've been on this in a month, I think, so Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey. Now, you've picked 2 fantastic tracks this evening. Talk us through your selections and why they think they should be the best of Norway.
Well, we're seeing 2 very different sides of Elliot. We've got the camp fun Elliot, which is, you know, charmed with My Heart Goes Boom, and then, you know, the electronic sort of like mid-tempo stuff I love, which is Joust. So let's get the camp and fun out the way. It's such a happy song. I mean, it's got like the Christmas bells, which Charlotte Pirelli had the year before, so, you know, Christmas Eurovision song, great. And it's just so happy and cheesy, it just puts a smile on your face, and, you know, like the message of My Heart Goes Boom, it's still relevant 20 years on. It's, you know, a rather relevant message and song, and it's just your perfect girl group cheese from the noughties. I think it's brilliant and catchy and just great fun. I love it.
Do you know what? I'll let you into it. I'll let you into a secret, Elliot. So I was sitting my GCSEs in 2000, and My Heart Goes Boom was. It was the first year of the CD, the Eurovision CD that came out, and I had a CD Walkman, and basically My Heart Goes Boom was the song that I basically played just before I went into the exam room every time, because it put a smile on my face and just chilled me out before I went in. So it has some quite good memories for me as well. Now, you've also picked Grab the Moment by Joust. Tell us about this one.
So if people remember back in March, I actually put this as one of my favourite all-time Eurovision songs, and it forever will be. And I do, to this day, think it is Norway's strongest entry they've ever sent. You know, like we said, MGP, Joust was an outsider going into the contest. He was against Ulrike, Ammunition, which is where the lead singer Wigwam went. Ellen in the Woods was a massive outsider. It was just nothing Norway had really sent in a few years. And Alexander Volman also was kind of a last-minute addition on the song as well. He wasn't meant to sing it originally. And the way that they just performed it with such ease and clarity in MGP and Eurovision, staging-wise as well, was fantastic. The message is brilliant. They never really, define what the message is, but you can easily apply it to yourself or other people. It's brilliant. And Alexander Volman is a fantastic singer. He came back in 2018, did really well. He then wrote The Bubble, which came second behind Kaino. So Joust and Alexander, I think, are amazing and have done amazing things for Norway in music. And if there's one act I want to return one year, it is Alexander Volman, because I think he's brilliant and the song is brilliant. And the song got a lot of flack when it won MGP from the fans. I know that because it wasn't like the fan favourite, but it still got a very respectable top 10 finish for them. So the fans aren't always right on first listen.
Hey, well, do you know what? I think you've got two sterling choices there, Elliot, and you've got some fantastic support in the chat room as well. Tim S says, "Charms, they were fantastic. 2000 was such a great Eurovision, and this song was sung so well by the girls. Really makes me smile to this day." And also, Thomas Nielsen in the chat as well says, "Grab the Moment, one of my absolute favourites." So I reckon, you got some good chances there this evening. Now, someone who's got a fantastic range of songs, 3 tracks, 3 entries. It's the lovely Morten. Evening, Morten.
Good evening.
Hey, now, talk us through your selections. I love the range, by the way, because you've got the retro, you've got the ballad, and then you've got possibly the biggest banger that Norway have sent in recent times as well. So talk to us about Adjø. Why is this one of Norway's best entries?
Well, there's only one reason, and it's Jahn Teigen. I mean, what an absolute legend of a man. And as everyone, at least in Norway, knows, he sadly passed away last year. And he was just a fantastic man who lived his life for MGP and Eurovision. So we couldn't have a show like this without Jahn Teigen. And I believe his best song in Eurovision was Adjø, which he had with Anita Skorgan. And him and Anita Skorgan was together and married for a couple of years as well. So it's real love there, and they were forever friends. This song it describes Jahn Teigen as well, how pure he is with that rock voice that he usually has, but just can make this ballad and move an entire nation many, many years later. And in 2020, this was a song every Norwegian would cry to or be really moved by in the last year. So an absolutely incredible song that will be remembered forever, and I really, really love it as well.
Oh, absolutely amazing. The one thing I didn't know that I saw on social media recently, I didn't realise Alexander Rybak, Jahn Teigen was his mentor as well, which I think just shows... It shows just how much impact he's had throughout the entire history, and he's going to be really, really sadly missed this year, I think, and in the future. Now, you've also gone for Carl Espen, Silent Storm 2014. Before you talk about the song, Hound, there is a comment in the chat, and I think it's from Annie, and it says, what was it? There we go. Carl Espen opened me a bottle of beer with his bare hands. I just thought I had to share.
Yeah, it's a brilliant song as well, and I feel like it was criminally underrated in 2014 as well. He should have done much better, because Carl Espen as a man, he's so pure. He's just a teddy bear, you gotta love him, and you gotta love his voice and his music. And he's got a bit under the radar after 2014, I feel. We'd love for him to make a comeback or something, but the Silent Storm, it moves you and touches you, and with his great voice and the violin on the stage, it's everything a Norwegian would hope for. But the result wasn't quite there. But the song is incredible as well.
It is. It's so beautifully understated, I think, is the way I would describe it, isn't it? And it's a song I think I've listened to a lot in 2020. I'd like to say I've rediscovered it. But I did see him perform it live at LEP in 2014 as well. And he captivated the audience with his rendition of that. Now, the final one, the 2019 televote winner. Just let rip, Morten. Go on.
Do I need to say anything? Even like "Spirit in the Sky," what a song! It just took the whole Europe and the whole world with storm. And like, who doesn't like "Spirit in the Sky" is the question. Like, is there a person out there who is like, no, I don't like this song at all? There's something in the song that just moves someone, and that's what kind of did so well in 2019, that they had something for everyone in one song, and they're really, really lovely persons or people. They did everything to get people's attention, and they did everything right in 2019. Won the televote. They almost did everything perfect except the jury votes. But the song is magnificent with the joiking, and I could just listen to it forever.
Yeah, absolutely amazing song. And you're right, totally great people. And I know Martin is an advocate for this song as well. And Martin, you must remember where we sat and basically ate our midnight snacks with Fred from Kano when we'd gone to Eurofest at the RBT about 15 months ago now. And just sat there chatting and everything. Absolutely fabulous people. But I know you are a lover of this song as well.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, partly for that, because that night the Eurofest was just heaving and it was all there for Kino, and they were incredible on the night. I had the opportunity to interview Fred and Tom, and they're great people. And also because I was lucky enough with Stuart and other people to be press in Israel, and so I saw them in the empty arena in the rehearsals, and it was pretty good, really good. But it was only when there was the audience there and everybody was standing. Obviously, you got the standing people. Everyone who was seated was standing, and that was probably the only act that everyone was on their feet and really going for it. And they're incredible, and best act, and they've been brilliant since as well.
Absolutely. Now, Michael, you're also a lover of this song as well. Is that right? Oh, he seems to have frozen. Are you there, Michael? I think you're on mute, actually. Oh, there you go.
Frozen in time.
Frozen in time. I'll come back to you in a moment, Michael. Because we can't hear you at the moment. But Morten, you've got some fantastic selections there. Obviously, two advocates, as you would expect, and I think many more of us would talk about Spirit in the Sky if we had the time as well. But I know also our lovely Joanne is also a lover of Jan Teigen as well.
I am. I absolutely adore that man. Absolutely. I think Jan and Anita, a show like this wouldn't have been complete without them both being on, because they both represented their country 3 times. Just shows how popular they were. And I remember Miletta Mill as being my favourite of Jan's, because I know the famous Nude Poit and all that, but I loved it. I loved the song, and I remember sitting there as a 9-year-old, I think I was at the time, and just saying, I want that song to win, even though, of course, he got 0 points, but I was hoping he won. And the guy's a legend, and he always will be, as far as I'm concerned, in Eurovision. And I hope his star lives on for a very, very long time.
Absolutely. Lots of love for Jan Teigen in the chat as well. And let's be honest, lots of love for Kano as well, Morten. I think your entries have got a very good chance of being up there when we reveal the vote later on. Don't forget, it's menti.com 39 29 18 8 if you still want to vote. Stu, over to you.
We've got another 5 fab songs. Let's listen.
turn his wave and say goodbye eventually, without a monster like me.
Joe, this is about the fourth or fifth time in a row now that you've picked Moreland and Scarlett. So I'm going to come into you first of all. A Monster Like Me, you picked the same song Friday night and you've picked it again today. Do I even need to ask you why you like this song, or should I just direct people to the show on Friday night for the answer?
Yeah, I didn't take Tom's advice and say don't pick the same song. Of course, I was always going to pick that song. If I hadn't have done, it wouldn't have gone in. Put it that way. Who else would have chosen that song by me? And it totally deserves to be in. Obviously, because of a certain, I've gone for the Shettles tonight. So if you notice, but Shettle Moreland, he is an absolute gem, and he is a genius in his own right. Songwriter, singer, performer. That's all you need to know. And yeah, direct everyone to Friday as well, and to the Halloween. I think I also picked him.
I'm sure there's more than one or two or three or four. I know you're a huge fan. I'm going to bring in quickly Steve, if I may. Steve is a big fan of this song as well. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love this song. It's so dark. You never get to the bottom of what happened when he was a kid. And I think it was just so, both singers were so good when they performed it in the final. I thought that she might not actually be able to match up to him, but she did. And I think it's a fantastic song. It was the camera work was really, really good. And it's probably one of my favourites of that year, along with the other duet from Estonia. I just think it's a fantastic song and just so dark.
It really is. And as you said, Steve and Joe on Friday night's show, we really don't know what he got up to in his younger youth or whatever he says. Clearly dark and early youth. Yeah, thank you, Joe. I'm sure he was up to no good is probably the answer. Tell us in the chat room what you think he was up to. I'd love to know what some of these answers might be. What do we think that Moreland was up to in his youth? I could probably bet on something right now. And I'm sure Joe would probably want to jump upon that train. Anyway, Joe, you picked another song from 1986. You picked Romeo. Why did you pick this one?
This is one of my top 10 favourites of all time. This song, it just reminds me. I remember saying about it when we did 1986 a year. It's my favourite year ever. That year was specific for me personally. I was between sort of my O levels and my A levels, and I needed something to obsess on. So of course I had my Eurovision, and I had it videoing, so I was constantly playing it. And I've just always, I'll say again, all those songs that came before them, absolute respect to everyone, I love them, but it was very stoic in there at the time, and Arthur Cleveland, who was the host, was sort of doing a very very stoic job, a Katie Ball job. And then all of a sudden he comes in and during the song, and he gets the whole audience clapping, and the lovely backing sort of Romeo and sort of the backing dancers, and they just got the whole audience going. And after that the atmosphere just lifted for every other entry, which I probably believe, because we had Ryder, didn't we, and then it was number 5 after that. So yeah, once Romeo went, that was it. So we had Fizzle Sizzle after, and they had a brilliant reception. So it was him. It was that home entrance that year in Bergen that did it. It was brilliant.
It was. And your final pick was 1993. And so tell us why you picked that one.
Yeah, this is a little different for me. I just thought she had to be, and so you had to be there. That is one of the best Norwegian songs ever. It's a ballad, it's a love story, and when you translate it into English, it's very much about talking about a lover and sort of all her thoughts. I think the original translation is, and again, it's just got that. It builds, doesn't it? It's a ballad that builds, and I just think the whole package was great that night, and she deserved her placing as well. definitely.
I agree. We're going to see if we can get Michael back into the show now.
Hello.
Michael, excellent. It's working good. Romeo. Why did you like this one as well? I know you were quite keen on this song.
Well, yeah, look, let me tell you, anyone who can dress up and have a group which dances that way there is sensational. There's a quirkiness in there, and that's a part of the thing they like there. For me, it's an exploration of sort of how Norway has progressed itself and put so many different fantastic facets of sort of performance into the competition, and just grows the church of love which we have, which is Eurovision. So it's to me, there is just a little quirkiness which really sort of sets it apart from a lot of other stuff in that period of time.
Thank you, Michael. Tom, it's your turn now. And like Joe, you've chosen the same song at least twice as well. So let's just get this over and done with. Touche and the song Stay from 2012. What the heck do you like about this song? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Do you know
Surely
what?
I'm not alone.
Stu, I am sure many people on this panel would agree with me. I can see Morton was already, throwing his hands up in total agreement that it's an absolute banger. I know Morton's look says something else. It's quite funny. But it is an absolute banger. I love this song. Absolutely brilliant. Turned up, full volume. Dancing around the living room to it at the moment because there's nowhere open. But what an absolute fantastic track. It did not deserve its last place in 2012. It should have come so much higher. And, for me, and look, see, Annie Joe in the chat room, Touche is amazing. I loved this song. What more vindication do I need? It totally deserves to be in this Best of Norway show, in my opinion.
Well, let's not go with stereotypes, but I'm going to bring Elliot in now, who loves a banger. Elliot, you've liked this song as well, don't you? Compose yourself, young man.
I was the one who made the comment. I like the studio version more than the live version, I'll be honest. Let's go with that. That's probably why he came last. Sorry, Tom. But yeah, this song is, say we're charmed, good, camp, happy, fun. He gave a good performance on stage, and he was one of the few acts in Baku who didn't make it look like he was dancing or performing on the giant vapid stage. So I'll give them that. And yeah, like I said, he went for it, and he was committed to the performance, and that's half the battle in Eurovision, because we see so many sort of like phone it in, and he didn't, to be fair. But I am quite glad he came last, because that meant the UK weren't last, and yeah.
Can I just say, Stu, just like in the chat room, we've got I love Stay, couldn't believe it when it came last. Touche was a very good performer. I do love Touche songs. Not last place, I knew Tom would add Touche. I'm afraid it got not that one. There's lots of love for it.
I'm just staggered that the chat room have that bad a taste. What is going on in the chat room this evening?
No,
Watch the numbers go. They're just going to go down now, aren't they?
No, Stu, they have
taste. Let's not bring up your taste in the archives. You're a big fan of Chains on You, and that says it all.
I also famously predicted that Spirit on the Sky wouldn't even qualify. So there you go. What the heck do I know?
True.
Hold on, be strong, Maria. Starring. Why did you pick this one, Tom?
Do you know what? This for me is there's two reasons. One, I just think it flew beautifully under the radar in 2008 and actually surprised people with its placing. And it's an absolutely fantastic song. Totally understated. They got the staging absolutely spot on. I mean, if there's an example of a perfect delivery of a song that's flying under the radar that I don't think people kind of expected to kind of set the scoreboard alight as much as it did, I think this is it. It was a total class act from start to finish. And also, the second reason is I think this basically marks the start of Norway being the Eurovision powerhouse that it's kind of been over the last 12 years, because prior to that they'd had a couple of years and they'd failed to qualify the year beforehand. They'd got a disappointing result prior to that, and they'd had kind of a couple of years that weren't, you know, as strong as they could have been, and this kind of marked the start of a fantastic string of results, which obviously was going to be boosted massively the following year when Alexander Rybak won.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Yeah, brilliant.
I agree on that.
Brilliant song.
It was. I have to say, I didn't like it at the time. I think it's a fabulous song now, and I play it, and I really enjoy it. Just bringing Morton in very quickly on this, because he's a fan of this song too. Morton, what's your take?
Yeah, finally a song that I can understand Tom likes as well. This song is very, very good as well. Like, you can see that her attitude and her stage presence is, she enjoys being on the stage, and I think that's very important, and I think that really set the standard for, as Tom said, Norway in the latter years after that, because she was a great example for us Norwegians when she participated in 2008. And the song is really, really strong as well. Her voice, delightful to listen to live, even better live than the studio version, I think. So she just put Norway really, really in a great example that year, and we don't even know, we don't even need to say what happened a year later as well.
Yeah, exactly. Great songs, good choices. I think we should hear the final 5 songs. Tom, what do you think?
Absolutely, and these are, I do believe these are some of your selections there, Stuart.
They are, exactly. It's where you get your own back. It's your turn now. Me and Steve, you see, you saved the best till last. Right, let's hear these 5. Here we go.
Hey, so 5 final songs there. Don't forget, because voting's going to close once we've spoken to Stu and Steve about these. So don't forget menti.com. Go across to there, type in the code 39 29 18 8 if you haven't already done so, and get voting. Now we'll go to Steve first. So Steve, you've picked Elizabeth Andreassen's fantastic second place entry. I Yvette, which I've probably pronounced wrong anyway, which I always do. Morton, how's it pronounced?
It's pronounced I evighet.
There we go. I'm not gonna try and repeat it again. But you picked that, and you picked Ulrika's Attention from last year as well. Let's start with 1996. What is it about Elizabeth Andreassen's entry that means it's part of the best ever Norway?
Well, I suspect she's in the record books as having entered 4 times in 4 different acts, and this is the only time she did a solo act. And I think in the 80s she did a couple of bangers, and in the 90s she did a couple of ballads. I think she's got a fantastic voice. Her breathing is very good. I didn't realise she was such a good singer from her songs in the 80s. And I think this was the year that you had that kind of very ethereal top 3 with Ireland and Sweden either side of Norway. For me, this was the winner in 1996 next to Gina G. But I would say that because I'm a Brit at the end of the day. I thought it was going to be, no holds barred win. I just think she's got a lovely, lovely voice, and it undulates throughout. It's just got a very nice ethereal theme to it. And I think it's one of Norway's best entries.
Do you know what, Steve? I totally agree with you. My story about the 1996 contest is basically my dad mucked up the video recording. We'd actually gone out for the night, mucked up the video recording, got as far as Gina G and the videotape cut out. It's only recently, and it was only really this year, that I've actually watched the 1996 contest in full. And I agree, she should have come, that one place higher. I would have been really happy to have seen Norway do the double that year as well. Now, another song that I think would have done really, really well was Ulrika's Attention. Why is this part of Best Ever Norway?
She was one of the best voices last year. I know a lot of people say it's very screechy, but actually she sings it really well. She's got a really good range, and it's a hugely difficult song to sing. And I remember when I saw it showcased in one of the semi-finals, and I thought straight away then that it was going to win for Norway. I was really surprised just how close it actually was in the final two. But I think she's a fantastic singer. I think it's very, very sad that we're not going to see her in this year's contest. And I only hope that she comes back later with another really strong ballad. I thought this was a fantastic song, really well sung. I don't think she made a single mistake in her delivery. And I like to sing myself. I'm in a choir and I'm a tenor. So her breathing was just it's so good. I think she's probably one of the best singers ever, or would have been one of the best singers ever to represent Norway. And unfortunately, she didn't get that chance, which is very sad.
Yeah, I have to say she is at the top of my list in terms of 2020 artists we're not seeing back this year, who I really, really, really hope comes back again. If not next year, 2022, then maybe another year or so down the line, because I think she's could make a great impact on the stage.
To be fabulous. There's a little bit of an eyebrow thing going on that kind of put me off at times, but she looked better with the blonde hair, I think, when she was in Melody Grand Prix a few years previously.
Hey, well, you can give us some fashion advice, Steve. There you go. Now, let's go to my co-host Stu. Stu, you've covered the full range. I can't help but feel you're trying to back a winner, quite literally, with Nocturne and Fairy Tale in there as well. But you've also picked 1976 Matahari. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, well, Matahari's a classic. She's, for all the right and wrong reasons, funny enough, and Karin Strom came last twice. And she tried to represent Norway numerous times. She actually represented Norway 3 times in total, came last twice. I mean, that's quite some record, isn't it? And she was actually, ironically, one of the favourites to win in 1976. But it all went horribly wrong because she came in dressed with these bizarre glasses, which actually I think are quite fab, and this kind of gold dress, which, again, nowadays you'd that'd probably be in vogue actually in some places around the UK. But this just did not work. The juries did not like it, and it came bottom. No idea why, but it's a fab song. And when I think of Norway, I immediately go Matahari. Fabulous.
Hey, now you've also picked Nocturne as well. I have to say, I'm going off of Campbell in the chat. 40 seconds of great singing in Nocturne is far more pleasing than 3 minutes of two singing live.
And he's right, of course.
How hard? No, Stu. No. But Nocturne, 1995. Why does this make it into your top for Norway?
Well, I think because it's so different. And we had 3 years consistently of Ireland winning Eurovision, 92 through 94, and I think everyone was sick to the back teeth of Ireland winning. And so when it came to 1995, you had Norway with something quite different, which essentially is an instrumental song with 40 seconds of singing, and you had Spain just absolutely trying to blow the roof off of the stadium. And it was a toss between those two. Ultimately, Norway won. And then we go and find out, actually, Norway was Ireland. What the heck was all that about? And then Ireland won the next year as well. So it was just Ireland, non-stop. Having said that, Secret Garden are a fabulous band. I actually bought their album, Songs from a Secret Garden, after this contest. And I've probably still got it today somewhere in the house, he says. Haven't seen it for years. Fabulous. Absolutely deserved its win, and despite Spain coming very close, this was the right winner.
Now, obviously your final pick is someone who knows how to write a song. It's Alexander Rybak and Fairy Tale. Clearly needs no introduction, possibly one of the most catchy winners of the last 15 years or so.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this one.
Well, I'm just going to say a few words on this because it needs nothing from me. It's a fabulous singer. It was an absolute clear winner from the moment it was released. I remember listening to all the songs from 2009 in the car, driving one day, and thinking, oh, this is going to win by an absolute mile. And it did. It was so obviously the winner. What's not Norway about violins? That's not Ireland. Actually, maybe the two merging together. Certainly did in 1995. But this was an absolute dead cert to win, and it won by an absolute canter. And a great example, Alexander Rybak, of why successful Eurovision artists should never return to a contest. There you go. And we'll see more about that later.
I was going to say, unless you're Johnny Logan, Stu. Now, thanks to everyone that has been contributing in the chat room. There's absolutely tons of you this evening. Apologies if I don't read out your name, but a big hello to Andy, to Andrew, to Ian, to Jim, to ESC Manga, to Donna, to Thomas, to Matthew, to Campbell, to Mark, to Campbell, to Jude, to John Boy, to David, to Marios, to another Andrew. Can the panel just give everyone in the chat room just a big wave? Because we really appreciate your support as well. Now, guys, serious chat just between Eurovision fan to Eurovision fan. If you have not voted, you have until I finish talking to Elliot about Nocturne, okay, to get voting. Okay, it's menti.com. Type in the code 39 29 18 8. Okay, Elliot will drag out his appreciation of Nocturne as long as he can, so you can get your votes in. Go.
Oh, that's no problem. I absolutely adore this song. But also, to drag out even further, I just want to go back to Attention and remember Mawson's very passionate speech about why Ulrike should have won that week on the preview show. It's fantastic if you haven't seen it. And me saying that in that show that I thought Ulrike could have won the jury final, and I stand by that comment a year on. I still think she would have won in the jury final at least. Back to Nocturne now. Yeah, this song is brilliant. I know it's not much singing involved, but not every single song needs to have, 3 minutes of singing or words. It's the music, and the music is incredibly haunting, it's incredibly beautiful. And for the first 5 years of, me dancing, I didn't actually realise this is a Eurovision song because this song is so popular in the dancing world, it's used as a waltz, and it's one of the most popular and most famous waltzes on my circuit and the professional circuit. People all over the world adore this song and probably don't even realise it's a Eurovision song, let alone a Eurovision winner. Yet people still adore this music as soon as they hear it. That's the power that Nocturne has, that it just instantly sets a mood. And it is one of my favourite songs to dance to and many others, and it's fantastic. So yeah, brilliant song, deserves to win the year it did. And I think it's fantastic. So I think I've stretched out as far as I can, but yeah, I still think I was right.
Do you know what you have? And I'm going to give people some bonus time as well, because I realised that I didn't go to Michael, to Joe and to Martin, who are big advocates of attention as well. And so, it was drawn to my attention, and so I'm going to give them attention. Let's go to Martin first. Ulrika.
Yes, amazing song and incredible singer. It's now it's going to be one of my favourite songs. Not quite sure where yet in my big list, but it's absolutely superb. And as Elliot was saying, I think it could have been the jury winner this year. Just throwing out there, I know that people like Gison's Tears and Victoria, but I think this could have been like this year's Proud. And it's just very simply staged, and the pyros just come on brilliantly. And I think I saw somebody say about she needed in musical theatre. Well, she's down as being in Mamma Mia in Norway, so she's already got a career move all sorted, even though she's not going to come to Eurovision.
Hey, and Michael, you're a big fan of this song as well, aren't you?
You know, this is a complete grower. I must say, the first time I heard it, I wasn't that impressed. I go back and listen to this, and her voice, I can't agree any more with Steve, it's so precise. She gives me Dami Im vibes in the way in which she holds her notes and does it that way there. My only thing about this song is really the content of the lyrics. It really doesn't empower. It's not a great female empowering song. So I think of it now, I look back at it, as the prequel to Conchita's worst Rise Like a Phoenix, you know. So, and it gives you that sort of staging. It's the song which you'd put in before you play Conchita, who rises up. But beautiful, beautiful song. Beautifully, the notes were just amazing, and it catches you in. And I couldn't agree more with Elliot. Would have won the jury vote by a landslide.
Hey, it's not often that people agree with Elliot on this show, so he's going to appreciate that one. Finally, Joe.
Yeah, huge shout out to the songwriters. Two men actually writing for a woman, and doing an amazing job of it. Of course, just because it was Moreland. Oh dear. But yeah. I love that song. I love her as well. She's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met on this planet, and she was amazing. And I just feel really sorry that she didn't get the chance to actually be part of the Eurovision family in Rotterdam and in all the pre-parties, because I know she's really up for it. And that's the really sad thing, is the fact that there's a lot of people that missed out on actually sort of having a bit of experience of Ulrika, because she's just fabulous human being.
And an even bigger reason to have her back, hopefully, in a year or so. Now, guys, stop voting. We're totting up the votes. But obviously, we only looked at 21 songs, which must mean, it's time for Best of the Rest.
So now you've heard all of our panelists' choices this evening. What about the songs that didn't get selected? Kicking us off is Norway's 4th ever entry into Eurovision, but not without controversy. This artist was criticised for being the first female performer not to wear a dress on stage. I must say she looks very familiar.
Soon we will know who will be the best in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Despite winning Eurovision 3 times, Norway is best known for finishing last on 11 separate occasions. This is Tor Andreasen. He tried to represent Norway numerous times before getting his chance back in 1997. Sadly, he finished with nil points. This is Jan Teigen. He represented Norway 3 times, most notably back in 1978 with this song, which sadly didn't receive a single point from anyone. This was one of the favourites back in 2006 and is the last time Norway sung in Norwegian. Back in 1999, Norway tried urban-inspired pop. I just can't see his outfit catching on. I guess I was wrong about that one.
As well. Oh god, I just read it.
Comebacks rarely work out for Eurovision artists. Alexander Rybak returned in 2018 with That's How You Write a Song, finishing a lowly 15th. Let's finish off this whistle-stop tour of the Best of the Rest with Norway's joint second best placing since the year 2000.
I'm not afraid to move.
Is that the time? I think it's time to move on.
And what a great selection of Best of the Rest that was. I think if I'd have picked a third song this evening, I think Jørgen Hasselgaard would have got my vote, I think, this evening, maybe. Now, guys, we are just moments away from revealing the result of our best ever Norway entry. But before we do so, we need to get our 12 points. So I am going to go around the panel and then we're going to get Sean, who's provided us with a little video for his 12 points as well, to unveil his 12. So I'm going to kind of vaguely do clockwise. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work out, but just make sure, panel, that you unmute yourselves. There we go. Let's go to Elliot first.
What could go wrong, Atam? To kickstart this off, I am giving my 12 to Alexander Vullman and Joust with Grab the Moment, because I genuinely do believe it's their best song.
Hey, Joe.
My 12 go to Fairy Tale.
Michael.
My 12 points will go to Bobby Socks.
Morton.
My 12 points goes to Jan Teigen and Anita Skorgan. Adieu.
Steve.
My 12 points go to Elizabeth Andreasen from 1996.
Martin.
My 12 points go to Ulrika, Attention from 2020.
Let's hear from Sean.
Now it's time for my 12 points. Who gets my vote? My 12 points. 12 points go to Kano, Spirit in the Sky.
Over to Stu.
Thank God. I was worried for a minute then. I was wondering whether he'd got the wrong show, Tom. I think I'm going to go with 2, actually, because I can't pick between them. I think it's either 2009's Fairy Tale or it's going to be 2019 Spirit in the Sky, because I think both songs, for different reasons, are absolute classics for Norway. What about yourself?
I was going to say, Stu, surely you must have voted. You've given
I
me
did.
12 points.
I
Or
did.
is this a sign that you just don't? I see. You're playing it cool, not giving it away.
Do I have
Well-
to, am I not allowed to sit on the fence? Have I got to pick one? In which case, I'll pick Alexander right back. There you
Oh,
go.
okay, controversial. No surprise, guys. My 12 points went to my all-time favourite Eurovision song. It went to Bobby Socks, the Ladats Finger. I'm noticing in the chat, Emily H has given 12 points to Fairy Tale. David's given 12 points to Kano. Neil, it's 12 points to Bobby Socks. Thomas, it's 12 points to Joust. Annie Joe Designs, 12 points to Ryback. John Boy, 12 points to Nocturne. ESC Manga, 12 points to Nocturne. My goodness, I think this could go any which way. I think it's time for a result.
I think it is. Before we give you tonight's result, just a reminder that this is officially the start of the Eurovision pre-selection season 2021. Yes, we might all be in some kind of shitty lockdown, but we can still have fun. Make sure you tune in this Thursday at 9 p.m. Central European Time for our first preview show of the season with the gang, including Morten from Norway is joining us. We will be previewing the first semi-final of Norway this year.
Stu, 8 p.m. Central European Time.
8 p.m. Central
You'd
European.
be-
Yes, we changed it
you'd be
before
there
the
an
show.
hour too late. 8 p.m. Central European Time on Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT if you're in the UK.
I'm glad I've got you as a co-host. I never remember these details, Tom.
It's what matters. Right, should we get a drum roll from the panel?
I think we should. I think we're going to decide and reveal the results of the best ever Eurovision Norway in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winner of the best ever Eurovision Norway is, with 624 points, it's Kano with Spirit in the Sky. Second place with 443 points, it's Fairy Tale. And third place, bronze position for Margaret Berger with I Feed You My Love 2013. That's quite a lead, isn't it? That's the biggest lead we've ever had, I think.
That's massive. But massive congratulations to Kano, and very much well deserved.
Yeah, it is.
What a banger.
It is. So there you have it. A victory for Kano. What a show, Tom. That was fun.
A fantastic show, fantastic winner. Obviously, we're back Thursday night, reviewing Norway. And if anyone wants a sneak preview, and they've been keeping their eye on the relevant Twitter feeds, you can get a sneak peek at what we're previewing when the artists and songs get announced tomorrow on the MGP site, I believe 12:15 Central European time, or if you're in the UK, 11:15, just because we're weird and seem to have a different time zone. Hey, who knew? Right, Stu, I believe it's time to say a big thanks to our panel.
Goodbye. It is. You can connect with all of our panelists. If you want to check them out, you want to befriend them on Facebook. Everyone loves a good poke on a Facebook. Make sure you check out our website at escfantv.com. You'll find them all on the website. You'll be able to poke as much as you like. Thank you to our panel. Big thanks to Michael all the way from Australia. Thanks, Michael. I know it's an early start for you. He's frozen. I do like that. I do like that frame though. He kind of looks like he's about to take a big fart, doesn't he? Look at him.
Stu,
No,
you're
it looks
doing
like
so
he's finished.
well.
We were. I don't know if you can you come in, Michael? Can we have you off mute for a second?
Well, hello there.
There you go. You were frozen in time there. Thank you for joining us, Michael. It's been an absolute pleasure. We got a delay. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
There you go. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Great show.
Make sure you check out what Martin gets up to with Let Me Be the One. And big thank you to Steve. Thanks. Good. Steve's still in Christmas mode, as you can tell.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Child at heart.
Yeah. Big thanks to Elliot.
Thank you, guys. Like I said, this is the start of a very manic 2 months for us, so you won't get rid of my face now, sorry, but I am looking forward to the show on Thursday from you all. I can't wait for that, because they were a highlight last year, so I'm looking forward to watching that again.
Big thanks to Joe.
Oh, thank you, everyone. And as a Norwegianophile, I will see you on Thursday.
Exactly. Talking to Norwegians, huge thank you to for Morten for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me. It was a great show, and looking forward to Thursday. And as someone who knows the artist who's going to be revealed tomorrow, looking forward to Thursday, and I hope you all really enjoy tomorrow and Thursday, of course.
I'm sure we will.
Bury the lead on that, Morton. Dish.
So there you have it. Now you know that Morten has the answers, so go and poke him on a Facebook. Tom, I'll see you on Thursday, my friend.
See you Thursday, Stu. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and make sure you're tuning. Guys, still in the chat room, give this show a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, if you hated every minute of it, make sure you dislike it. Tell us why. We love your comments. We love reading them. It really makes us do what we do, and we only do it for you. You know, we're not making any money out of this. It's a labour of love. We love it, and we're here for you. We will see you Thursday night. Keep safe, and we look forward to starting the Norwegian season and, of course, the full Eurovision season once again on ESC Fan TV. Bye-bye for now.